Hey, it's Brian Burns, the host of the Brutal Truth About Sales and Selling podcast, here today to talk about 5 ways to differentiate yourself as a salesperson. So, the first question is, why do I need to differentiate myself from other salespeople? Well, I hope the answer is obvious that today the world has changed. People are bombarded by pitches, by messages, by people wanting them to do something for them. So we as salespeople find it harder and harder to get mind share, to get attention, to get face-to-face time, to get people's engagement. That has become the hard part. The hard part used to be finding people, finding ways of connecting with them. Because before, all we had was really the phone. Today we have email and all kinds of online social media, LinkedIn and Twitter, and all these new ways of finding people. The problem is nobody wants to engage with a salesperson. So we have to become more creative. So I'm going to talk to you now about 5 ways to do this. And they're kind of counterintuitive, but they're become incredibly obvious. The first one is don't act like a salesperson. Now, this is counterintuitive because everyone who gets into sales all of a sudden has a personality change. They go from being an authentically nice person to being a company professional or kind of the douchebag, overly hyped hustler, which has become really popular today. Be the hustler. Be out there hustling people. But you know what? I took a survey. Absolutely no one wants to be hustled. Not even your mama. So quit acting like the douchebags that you see on YouTube who are flying around in planes and drinking too much coffee and telling you to hustle. Guess what? No one wants to be hustled. People want to be helped. And the more you act like a salesperson, the more you will be treated like a salesperson. And guess, how do you treat salespeople? Well, I don't know about you, but I ignore them. If somebody isn't coming to me with something that will help me, something that they will do for me, something that I find interesting, I ignore them because I'm bombarded by them. If I talk to each one of them, like I know some people do, I'd spend my whole day doing that and I'd get nothing done for me. So as salespeople, we have to come to the table with something. We have to bring something. So quit acting like a salesperson. You got to become creative about how people in your industry want to be treated and approached. Maybe they want to be on help. They want new ideas. They want support in some way. They want camaraderie. They want find something in common with them. In each case, it's up to us to figure this out. The formula is ours to discover. The main ingredients are out there: commonality, help, interest, ideas. Those are all great ingredients. But as salespeople, it's up to us to figure out how to mix them up and present them to our prospects. I can't do it for you. But if you act like the douchebag salesperson, you will be treated like them by being ignored. And most people in this case just try and find more people who will ignore them instead of spending the time going deep into what their market wants. Number 1, do not act like a salesperson. Act like a human being helping somebody. Number 2, do what you say you're going to do. If you get that great opportunity to engage with somebody, to help somebody out, to interact with somebody, and you promise to do something, do it. Because this builds trust. Showing up on time, showing up builds trust. You say you're going to do something, do it. Most salespeople will make a list and promise to do the world for them, and they do nothing except for follow up. Hey, I was just following up, wanted to see where we were, wanted to see what's going on. When am I getting my order is what you're really saying, and that's really what they hear. Quit thinking about yourself and think about how you can help your prospect. If you're going to say you're going to do something, do it. You can't expect them to do anything for you unless you do something for them. Number 2, do what you say you're going to do. Number 3, don't be the fat cat sitting on the couch drinking beer, watching TV. Nobody wants the no value add, what they used to call a shit bird. Some bird that just craps all the time and makes noise. This is what most salespeople have turned into. It's like, what can I take without giving? And salespeople, you can always tell them at the party. They're the people who come in empty-handed. They bring nothing to the table, nothing to the party. They sit and they drink the beer and they eat the pizza and they complain about the music. And they complain about all the free stuff that they're getting. Be the salesperson that brings something to the party. What are you bringing? An example I always give is when I meet a client for the first time, I always bring a book. Sometimes it's my book, but most of the time it's someone else's book that I have had piles of that I buy in bulk because I think it'll add value to them. It shows that I am bringing something to them. It's a gift. It's small, less than $10 usually, and they remember it because they're going to have that book in their hands in their office for weeks and months. They might read it over a long period of time. I might, fold the pages or put a sticker about the things that I found enormously valuable. And people dig that. People want to share and ideas and approaches. But if you just come asking for stuff, it's not trick or treat. Selling is not trick or treat. No one's obligated to give you candy just for showing up. You've got to bring something to the party. Number 3, bring something. Don't be just a taker. Number 4 is stand out in the crowd. Be different. Show that you're different. Don't just say that you're different. Show by actions about how you're different. Go the extra step. Do what you say, which was number 2. But when you show that you're different, that you're going to out-support, that you know more about the market, that you know more about the business, that you are doing something that matches what they need in their industry, that's something of enormous value, then you'll be different. You got to show them that you're different. Don't just be the guy with the weird tie or the lady with the weird clothing. Do something for them that they see that you're different, that you are their partner in crime, that they are trying to get away with something and you're trying to get away with something, and together you're working to make the company better and your company better and their career better and your career better. Do it. Show them how you're different. Just don't say that you're better. Show them. Number 4, show them that you're different. Figure it out. I can't tell you. I'll give you an example. How do I do it? Well, in my space, it's enormously crowded. There's millions of people out there doing sales training and sales consulting. I show them how I'm different because not only did I write a book, but I've done it. Let's talk about your sales situations. Let me guess where your deals get stuck, and I'll walk them through a quarter. Let me tell you, okay, the quarter starts this way. Everyone's really optimistic, thinking that they're going to blow their number away. As the quarter goes along, the deals start to melt away. And near the end of the quarter, a few of them close only by doing 007 level of efforts to make sure that they close. And all of a sudden, people connect with me and they go, that's exactly what happens. Well, let me show you how I've done it differently, how I've helped other people do it differently, so that you can go into a quarter, focus on the deals that are real. They're not as many as you think they are. How to gain control, how to add direction and momentum to those deals so that they land and they close like airplanes at an airport. They land very smoothly in the right order with some level of control where they're not flapping around and crashing into the ground, killing people. This is how I demonstrate and show that I'm different. Number 4, demonstrate how you're different. Number 5, and this is the most critical, that selling is all about giving and taking, which shows that you care. And it's an art form. I call it quid pro quo. Some people misunderstand this. Some people think it's all about giving. Giving is important because giving creates the need for reciprocation, for them to do something for you. But sometimes if you just give and give and give, people see that as your job. They see that you care and everything, but they don't see any reason to give back. You have to get this movement back and forth, that when they ask for something, you got to be prepared to ask for something in exchange. Not a tit for tat, but you position it as something that you can give. They ask for pricing, you ask for time frame. They ask for a demo, you ask for an introduction to meet their manager. They want what you have, and you want something that they have. You have to do it professionally. You have to do it elegantly, but you have to do it. Otherwise, what happens is you give, and then when you're desperate for the order, you go for the take, and they're like, well, why should I do that? Because you've already given everything. You have nothing left to give. You have to build this into your process. If you don't, or if you do the opposite, where you just take, they quickly shut down because they don't see you as caring. This becomes human nature. It becomes part of your process. Be prepared to ask for 3 things every time they ask for 1 thing. Don't ask for all 3, but ask for 1 of them so that you can get the momentum going. These are the top 5 ways that you can differentiate yourself as a salesperson. If you don't do this, you'll be seen as a commodity. You'll be seen as a salesperson, as a pest, as somebody in the way and not somebody who's helping. If this makes sense to you, please like this video. Please share it. Join me on the podcast, The Brutal Truth About Sales and Selling, available on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Thanks for watching.